Imagine turning down $35 million for one day of work because it conflicted with your values. That's exactly what George Clooney did in 2021, choosing integrity over a life-changing paycheck 10. Yet this Hollywood icon once lived in a friend's closet as a struggling actor, owed $100,000 after 15 years of rejection, 14. From cutting tobacco in Kentucky to winning Oscars and founding a billion-dollar tequila brand, his journey proves true success isn't about shortcuts. It's about building legacies with grit, loyalty, and uncompromising principles. Ready to unlock his secrets? Let's begin. The family curse and early humiliation. What happens when you're born into fame's shadow but can't find your own spotlight? George Clooney lived this nightmare daily. As the nephew of singing legend Rosemary Clooney and son of TV personality Nick Clooney, expectations crushed him before he could even walk. "I wasn't Nick Clooney's son. I was Rosemary's nephew," he recalls, always feeling like the lesser talent in a family of stars. At 14, Bell's palsy partially paralyzed the left side of his face for an entire year. Classmates bullied him mercilessly, calling him Crooked Smile Kid. Instead of hiding, George learned to mock himself first, a defense mechanism that would later become his greatest charm weapon. His dreams of baseball stardom died at 16 during a Cincinnati Reds tryout. Struck out swinging. Realized I'd never be a pro athlete, he remembers. But failure taught him something powerful. When Plan A explodes, you build Plan B with the debris. George worked 5 jobs simultaneously. Tobacco harvester earning $5 a day, shoe salesman, insurance agent, construction laborer, and grocery stocker. Each job felt like punishment, but they were actually his acting education. Every useless job taught me human nature, an actor's real education. Your setbacks aren't roadblocks, they're building blocks for something greater. The 15-year Hollywood purgatory picture this. 15 years of rejection, living on ramen noodles and watching younger actors get the roles you desperately wanted. From 1981 to 1994, George Clooney survived Hollywood's brutal machine by sheer stubbornness. He played a handyman on The Facts of Life and got fired after 1 season. He was cast as a lip-syncing crossdresser in a straight-to-video thriller called The Harvest. Agents delivered crushing blows daily. Too old at 32, fix that crooked nose, another generic hunk. The industry saw him as disposable, forgettable, ordinary. By his early 30s, George owed over $100,000 to friends and seriously considered quitting acting to become a magician. Then lightning struck. After 14 auditions, he landed Dr. Doug Ross on ER, only because another actor dropped out at the last minute. His secret weapon? That childhood Bell's palsy had taught him subtle facial acting that other pretty boys couldn't master. 3 Golden Globe nominations followed. But here's the real lesson. George didn't get lucky, he got ready. While others partied, he studied. While others complained, he improved. While others quit, he persisted. Success isn't about being the best. It's about outlasting the competition. Stay hungry until luck finds you ready. Your breakthrough is coming. Just don't quit before it arrives. Blockbuster shame and the comeback gambit. Sometimes your biggest success becomes your greatest failure. In 1997, George starred in Batman and Robin, a movie so bad it killed the franchise. Critics called it campy trash, and George's batsuit infamously had nipples. Despite grossing $238 million, tabloids branded him Career Killer Clooney. He spent decades apologizing, "I killed Batman." Most actors would have hidden in shame. George chose a different path: radical honesty and strategic risk-taking. He bet on outsider director Steven Soderbergh's Out of Sight in 1998, choosing critical respect over studio paychecks. The film flopped financially, but earned him serious acting credibility. Then came his masterstroke. George recruited Brad Pitt and Matt Damon for Ocean's 11 in 2001. Studios said too many stars would sink the budget. The result? A $450 million smash that launched a franchise and cemented lifelong friendships. George understood something crucial: failure isn't final, it's fertilizer. His Batman disaster taught him to choose projects based on passion, not paychecks. His willingness to laugh at himself made him more likable, not less. The lesson here is profound. When they bury you, plant seeds for a forest. Your worst professional moment can become the foundation for your greatest alliance. When they bury you, plant seeds for a forest. Your worst flop can root your greatest alliance. Turn your failures into fuel for your comeback story. The producer rebellion success can become its own prison. After Ocean's 11, George received 27 variations of the Danny Ocean character, charming rogues with perfect hair and easy smiles. He refused them all, terrified of creative death by typecast. When he pitched Good Night and Good Luck in 2005, studios laughed him out of meetings. Black and white newsroom drama? Box office poison, they scoffed. So George did something radical. He mortgaged his Lake Como villa to fund the film himself. Shot in just 15 days, it earned 6 Oscar nominations, including Best Director for George. This success led to co-founding Smokehouse Pictures in 2006, where he prioritized films that studios feared. Argo won Best Picture in 2012. Michael Clayton earned critical acclaim. George had transformed from pretty boy actor to serious filmmaker by betting on stories that mattered. The entertainment industry runs on fear: fear of failure, fear of risk, fear of anything different. George chose courage over comfort, principle over profit. He understood that sometimes you have to be your own bank when others call your dreams unfundable. His producer rebellion proved that creative control is worth more than any paycheck. When you own your vision, you own your destiny. Be the bank when they call your dream unfundable. Profit follows principle. Stop asking for permission. Start creating your own opportunities. The integrity tax money talks, but integrity whispers. And George Clooney learned to listen to the whisper. In 2017, he was offered $35 million for one day of shooting an airline commercial. One day, $35 million. Most people would have signed immediately. George discovered the airline promoted a nation with horrific human rights abuses. He consulted his wife Amal, a human rights lawyer. We decided $35 million wasn't worth losing sleep over. In 2024, he turned down a $20 million franchise sequel to direct a documentary about abuse at Ohio State University. A story that needed telling, not selling. This wasn't just about money. It was about identity. George co-founded the Clooney Foundation for Justice in 2016, which has freed jailed journalists in 12 countries. He understood that wealth measures net worth, but integrity measures self-worth. The entertainment industry constantly tests your values with golden handcuffs. George chose to tax his wallet to feed his soul. Every no to easy money was a yes to harder principles. His approach proves that true success isn't about accumulating wealth, it's about maintaining the values that make wealth meaningful. When you can sleep peacefully, you've already won the most important game. Wealth measures net worth. Integrity measures self-worth. Tax your wallet to feed your soul. Your principles aren't for sale. They're your priceless foundation. Fatherhood and late career renaissance. At 53, Hollywood's eternal bachelor shocked the world by marrying human rights lawyer Amal Alamuddin. At 56, he became a father to twins. Critics wondered if parenthood would end his career. Instead, it revolutionized it. Fatherhood changed George's creative choices completely. He started selecting roles with no guns or explosions, voicing Fantastic Mr. Fox and directing The Tender Bar. During lockdown, he discovered profound joy in ordinary moments. Changed diapers, did laundry, felt like my mom in 1964, best year of my life. At 63, George made his Broadway debut in the stage version of Good Night and Good Luck. The production became the highest-grossing Broadway drama ever, earning $4 million per week. Age hadn't diminished his appeal, it had deepened it. His late career renaissance proves that greatness has no expiration date. While Hollywood worships youth, George embraced wisdom. He understood that reinvention isn't about abandoning your past, it's about upgrading your purpose. Becoming a father at 56 might seem late to some, but George saw it as perfect timing. He had the financial security, emotional maturity, and life experience to be fully present for his children. Greatness has no expiration date. Reinvention isn't quitting, it's upgrading your purpose. Your best chapters might still be unwritten, regardless of your age. Surviving fame's traps. Fame is a beautiful prison that can destroy your soul if you're not careful. George Clooney learned to navigate its dangers through humor, loyalty, and unshakable values. When paparazzi helicopters swarmed his Lake Como home, he faked Brad Pitt's wedding with rented tables, sending photographers on a wild goose chase. Political activism brought death threats, especially after criticizing child separation policies. "My kids would ask why I stayed silent," he explained, choosing courage over comfort. His father's rule became his compass. Challenge power, defend the powerless. George never forgot his roots or the people who helped him climb. After ER's success, he paid back friends $100,000 loans and still sends Christmas checks to his first agent. Radical gratitude became his anchor in fame's storm. He understood that celebrity is weather, unpredictable and temporary. Building inner shelter through old friendships and older values protected him from fame's worst effects. While others got lost in the spotlight, George used it to illuminate causes that mattered. His approach to fame reveals a crucial truth. Success doesn't change who you are, it reveals who you've always been. George remained the small-town Kentucky kid who learned to laugh at himself and help others. Fame is weather. Build inner shelter. Anchor yourself in old friends and older values. Stay grounded in your roots while reaching for the stars. The mentorship mission. True success is measured not by what you achieve, but by what you help others achieve. George launched acting scholarships for Kentucky teenagers, believing that talent's everywhere, opportunity isn't. He remembered being that broke kid with big dreams and wanted to shorten the journey for others. His mentorship extends beyond money. George regularly calls young actors, offering advice and connections. He understands that Hollywood can be brutal for newcomers, and a phone call from George Clooney can change someone's entire trajectory. At 64, he's still creating. His 2025 project, Jay Kelly, features him playing a man who forgot himself, perhaps his most personal role yet. He's also prepping his directorial epic, The Fortress, proving that creativity doesn't retire. George's philosophy remains beautifully simple. I'm still the tobacco-cutting kid. Every role, every fight, it's still me proving I belong here. Success didn't change his core identity, it amplified his ability to help others find theirs. His mentorship mission reveals that legacy isn't about monuments to yourself, it's about building bridges for others. When you lift others as you climb, you create something more valuable than any award. A lasting impact on human lives. Talent's everywhere. Opportunity isn't. Be the bridge you needed when you were climbing. Your success story should include chapters about helping others write theirs. The wisdom of persistence. What separates those who make it from those who don't? George Clooney's journey reveals the answer: stubborn persistence combined with strategic adaptation. He didn't just survive 15 years of rejection, he learned from every no and adjusted his approach accordingly. His secret wasn't talent alone. Plenty of talented actors never make it. His secret was treating rejection as redirection, failure as education, and setbacks as setups for comebacks. When Batman and Robin flopped, he didn't hide. He chose better projects. When agents said he was too old, he proved age brings wisdom. George mastered the art of playing the long game. While others chased quick fame, he built lasting relationships. While others burned bridges, he constructed networks. While others gave up after a few years, he persisted for decades. His approach to persistence was strategic, not stubborn. He adapted his methods while maintaining his core values. He learned when to push harder and when to pivot. Most importantly, he never let temporary defeats become permanent surrenders. The entertainment industry is designed to break spirits and crush dreams. George survived by treating it as a marathon, not a sprint. He paced himself, celebrated small victories, and never lost sight of the bigger picture. Persistence isn't about banging your head against the same wall. It's about finding new doors when old ones won't open. Keep evolving your approach while staying true to your destination. The unfinished masterpiece. At 64, George Clooney isn't slowing down, he's speeding up. His recent projects show an artist at the peak of his powers, choosing roles and causes that matter deeply to him. He's producing films that challenge audiences and directing stories that need telling. His marriage to Amal created a power couple dedicated to justice. Together, they've freed political prisoners, challenged corrupt governments, and used their platform for global good. Their love story proves that finding the right partner can amplify your impact exponentially. George's journey from broke tobacco farmer to Hollywood royalty spans 4 decades of relentless growth. He transformed every setback into a setup, every failure into fuel, every rejection into redirection. His story isn't about overnight success, it's about persistent excellence. The boy who was bullied for his crooked smile became one of the world's most charming men. The failed baseball player became a cinematic home run. The struggling actor became an Oscar-winning director. The Bachelor became a devoted husband and father. His legacy continues growing because he never stopped growing. At an age when many retire, George is writing new chapters, taking new risks, and creating new art. His story reminds us that life doesn't end at any particular age. It evolves. Life doesn't crown the first to bloom. It crowns those who keep blooming through every season. Your masterpiece is still being painted. Keep adding bold strokes. George Clooney's 40-year odyssey screams one truth: masterpieces take decades, not days. From sleeping on floors with $100,000 in debt to directing Oscar winners and raising twins at 60, he turned Hollywood's too old into ageless. Your failures, they're just footnotes. Your detours, scenic routes to greatness. Life doesn't crown the first to bloom. It crowns those who keep blooming through every season. Now go plant your stubborn seeds. Like, comment, and subscribe to rise and inspire for more stories that fuel your journey to greatness.